So tell me about Bill and how you met him.
Let's see. Well, Lauren and Bill came into town. I had walked out to Seattle, Washington with some of my girlfriends, and they came to a fellowship meeting, and he asked me for a date. And so I did go with him. I had kind of planned. I thought there was some other fellow that I kind of liked that I thought would be coming, but he didn't come. But he asked me if I'd go home with him. Not go home with him, but to have a date with him that night. And so I did go, and I remember that I had boots with me because I'd walked clear to Sela, and so he carried my boots. And when we got to the door, I kissed him on the cheek, and he just went off a grinning. And after that, we went together steady for 2.5 years before we were married.
So, how did he propose to you?
We were at Lookout Point. That's a kind of scenic spot here in Yakima, and he asked me to marry him. He had the engagement ring in his pocket at the time, and I remember I didn't know he was coming, and I ate watermelon, and I was miserable because I needed to go to the bathroom, but in those days you wouldn't tell anybody that for anything. I waited until I got home, but kind of spoiled my evening. But uh, those, I think he said he paid $18.50, something like that, for the for the engagement ring. But back in those days, you worked for around 10 cents an hour, so it took a long time to raise the money for that ring. And that same ring, when I went to Poplar, Montana, I was swimming in the Poplar River, and the set went out in the water, so that was the end of that ring.
Did you replace it, or?
Later on, he got me a nice one.
How long were you married?
We were married for 63 years.
What year were you married?
1936.
Do you remember what day you were married on?
We were married on a Sunday, but I don't remember the day.
Where were you married?
In this old stone church here in Yakima. It was a beautiful little church. Well, it was pretty good size, and it had stained glass in the windows, beautiful windows in it. But there wasn't sufficient parking, so they had to get something different. But the day we were married, they didn't have any reception room at the church, so my sister Esther had about 45, 50 guests came out to her house, and one of our friends made the wedding cake, and we took pictures outside, and Bill, my husband, accidentally stepped on the wedding veil I had, a long one that went clear of my feet, and he ripped a little hole in it, and the veil had been borrowed, and that really bothered me. I was afraid to have to tell the lady that I ripped her veil, and it kind of spoiled my wedding day because of that. But otherwise, it was very nice. We went to a studio also and had wedding pictures taken.
Did you go on a honeymoon?
No, we just went to a hotel that night, and the next day I went down to Wapato, and Bill's mother, I asked her if to go to see the house where I was foolish enough to not even go to see what house we were going to live in when we got married. Here it had one bedroom and the kitchen and living room and outdoor John, and I wasn't used to living like that. I was used to having things modern, so that was hard. And then his mother was washing clothes, and she says, "Wait until I get my washing done." And I said, "What can I do to help you?" And she said, "No, I don't want any help." She said, "You can go in and sort out his long johns and if they have any holes in them, you can mend them. And that was really a letdown after I'd had a beautiful wedding just the day before.